The world is incredible, filled with surprising traditions and customs. Imagine a festival in Thailand where monkeys enjoy banquets, an Italian cheese filled with larvae, or even a Japanese village that pays new residents. And today we are going to explore fascinating curiosities that reveal the soul of each culture. Get ready for a journey through the most unusual customs on the planet. Blackening is a traditional Scottish custom that takes place before a wedding, especially in rural parts of Scotland. This tradition involves friends and family of the bride and groom catching them by surprise and covering them with an unpleasant, sticky mix of substances such as molasses, flour, soot, feathers, and other messy ingredients. After getting them dirty, the couple is taken on a public parade, often tied onto a truck or cart and driven around the streets or even to places like pubs where people watch and have fun. The idea behind the ritual is that if the couple can endure this humiliation and discomfort, they will be able to face any challenge in their marriage. In addition, it is believed that the ritual brings good luck and wards off evil spirits. The blackening has ancient roots, possibly deriving from old Celtic and pagan rituals involving tests of endurance before marriage. The ritual is still practiced in some parts of Scotland, mainly in the Highlands and the Scottish Islands, but in some more urban areas, it has been replaced by traditional bachelor and bachelorette parties. Although it is carried out in a spirit of fun and celebration, some people consider it humiliating, which is why it has become less popular in some places. However, as mentioned earlier, it still remains in many areas. The El Colacho Festival, also known as the Baby Jump, is a Spanish tradition that takes place annually in the small village of Castrillo de Murcia in the province of Burgos. This peculiar and somewhat controversial event has been going on since 1620 as part of the Corpus Christi celebrations, mixing elements of Catholicism with ancient pagan traditions. To prepare for the festival, newborns from the village who were born in the previous year are carefully placed on mattresses in the middle of the street. A man dressed as El Colacho, a figure representing the devil, wears a yellow and red outfit and runs through the streets jumping over the babies. He is followed by another character, El Atabalero, who wears a dark tunic and carries a drum, representing the battle between good and evil. It is believed that the leap of El Colacho purifies the babies, driving away evil and guaranteeing protection and good luck for the rest of their lives. After the jumps, parents pick up their babies and a priest gives blessings, concluding the ceremony with processions and festivities. The festival originated in the 17th century and is believed to have influences from ancient pagan purification rituals. Despite its long tradition, the practice sparks debate, especially among children's rights organizations and even within the Catholic Church, which does not officially recognize the ritual. However, to this day, there are no records of babies being injured during the celebration. In India, the tradition of eating with one's hands is a deeply rooted cultural practice that goes beyond mere nourishment. It is connected to spirituality, a bond with food, and even digestion. Food is considered sacred in Indian culture, and eating with one's hands creates a closer connection to it. In some Hindu traditions, it is believed that the fingers represent the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and using them while eating brings harmony to the body. According to Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine, touching food with the hands activates digestive enzymes and prepares the body to receive nutrients. For them, eating with one's hands allows you to feel the texture and temperature of the food before taking it into your mouth, making the meal more engaging and enjoyable. Traditionally, only the right hand is used for eating, as the left is considered impure, usually reserved for personal hygiene. Despite modernization and Western influence, this tradition is still widely followed in India, especially at home and during traditional meals. More upscale restaurants might offer cutlery, but many authentic establishments encourage customers to eat in the traditional way. Wife-carrying, or Yukonkanto in Finnish, is a quirky and fun tradition in Finland where men compete by carrying their wives, or partners, through an obstacle course. The most famous event is held annually in the town of Sonkaharvi, drawing participants from various parts of the world. The course is 253.5 meters long and includes obstacles such as water and barriers. The man can carry his partner in any way, but the most popular position is the Estonian style, in which the woman hangs upside down on the man's back, holding onto his waist. If the competitor drops his wife, he receives a time penalty. The origins of wife carrying are unclear, but there are three main theories. The first is linked to legends of woman thieves, in which, in the 19th century, a bandit named Runcanen the Terrible and his gang supposedly kidnapped women from neighboring villages and carried them on their shoulders. Another theory suggests that men had to prove their strength to marry, carrying their future wives over long distances. The third theory claims that the tradition began as a military exercise to carry wounded soldiers. The wife does not need to be legally married to the competitor, but she must weigh at least 49 kilograms. If she is lighter, additional weight must be carried. The record time in the competition is about 1 minute. This tradition, besides being comical, has become an international sporting event, with similar competitions in countries such as the United States of America and the United Kingdom. In Bolivia, there is a curious tradition of hiding coins and small objects inside cakes and pies, especially during birthday parties, weddings, and New Year's celebrations. It is believed that finding one of these coins in your slice of cake brings luck, prosperity, and good fortune for the coming year or stage of life. Traditionally, before baking or right after preparing the cake, small coins, usually well washed or wrapped in aluminum foil, are hidden inside. When serving, each person gets a slice and may find a coin or another symbolic object. Whoever finds the coin will have a year of good luck, financial success, or even marriage, depending on the occasion. On New Year's, the coin represents prosperity for the coming year. In weddings, it can signal luck in the relationship or indicate who will be the next to marry. At birthdays, it brings wishes of happiness and success to the birthday person. In the United States of America, tipping culture is very strong, and in many cases, tips are practically mandatory, even if technically optional. Unlike other countries where tipping is a gesture of gratitude, in the United States of America, tips are part of a worker's wages, especially in the service sector. In many states, a waiter's base pay may be only $2.13 per hour, with the expectation that tips will make up the rest of their income. Tips can account for 50% or more of these workers' pay. If an employee does not receive enough tips to reach the state's minimum wage, the employer is required to make up the difference. In some places, especially in tourist cities, restaurants add automatic tips to the bill, usually for groups of 6 or more people. Many tourists are surprised by the tipping culture and find it unfair that employers pay so little, forcing customers to cover workers' wages. There is a debate about whether the system should change, with many people advocating fair wages without depending on tips, as is common in Europe. The Brazilian electric shower is viewed by many foreigners as a practical and efficient invention, but it also frightens those who are not used to its appearance and operation. In countries where gas water heaters or central systems are more common, the electric shower, with its exposed wires and internal heating element, has earned the nickname death shower among some travelers. In many models, the electrical wiring is visible and close to the shower itself, which can look dangerous to those who are unfamiliar with the system. The idea of mixing water and electricity always causes apprehension, but the system is designed to be safe. In some homes and inns, especially in rural or less developed areas, there may be poorly done installations, increasing the real risk of shocks. The electric shower is not dangerous if correctly installed. It has a grounding system and uses electric currents isolated from the water, preventing direct shocks. However, poor installations, exposed wires, and lack of maintenance can cause genuine hazards. This type of shower became popular in Brazil for being cheaper and easier to install than gas or central heating systems. Many travelers joke or even post videos reacting to the death shower, but after they understand how it works, they realize it is simply a matter of custom. Casu Marzu is a traditional cheese from Sardinia, Italy, famous and controversial for containing live fly larvae. The name means rotten cheese in the Sardinian dialect, and it is considered one of the world's most dangerous cheeses, to the point that it was banned by the European Union for health reasons. However, it is still produced clandestinely by some locals and sold on the black market. The process begins with Pecorino Sardo, a sheep's milk cheese. It is left out in the open so that cheese flies can lay eggs on it. The larvae hatch and feed on the cheese, breaking down the fats and making it creamier. When it reaches the desired texture, the cheese is served with the live larvae still inside. This cheese is considered dangerous because if the larvae, which can grow to about 15 centimeters, are ingested alive, there is a risk of intestinal infection, as they may survive the acidic environment of the stomach and lodge in the intestine. Additionally, the cheese ferments beyond the normal stage of decomposition, which can lead to digestive issues. Because of these health risks, casu marzu is illegal in Italy and in the European Union, yet it can still be found in clandestine markets in Sardinia. Anyone caught selling it may be heavily fined. Despite this, it has cultural heritage status, and many Sardinians defend its traditional production. The Maasai tribe, one of the most famous in Kenya and Tanzania, has a peculiar custom that may seem strange to many, using spittle as a sign of respect and blessing. For the Maasai, spitting is not seen as rude or disgusting, but rather as a symbolic gesture of respect, good luck, and spiritual connection. The Maasai often spit on their hands before shaking another person's hand as a sign of respect. When a baby is born, elders spit on its forehead to wish it a long and prosperous life. During wedding ceremonies, the bride's father also spits on her head and chest to bless her before she leaves for her new life with her husband. For the Maasai, spittle represents vital energy and good fortune, functioning almost like a protective ritual. Though it may seem strange to other cultures, it is a deeply rooted practice in theirs. In Japan, there is a strong tradition of not wearing outside shoes indoors. This custom is related to hygiene, respect for the home environment, and deeply held cultural concepts. Streets can be dirty with dust, mud, and germs, so wearing shoes from outside would soil the inside of the house. In Japan, the home is a sacred space and must be kept clean and welcoming. Many traditional homes have tatami, straw mats that easily absorb dirt and cannot be cleaned as easily. When entering a Japanese home, there is a genkan, a small entrance area. Here, visitors must remove their shoes and leave them neatly before coming inside. Typically, residents and guests wear slippers or walk in socks indoors. In some places, such as bathrooms, there are specific slippers that should not be worn in other parts of the house. Beyond residences, this habit is common in schools, temples, ryokans, traditional inns, medical clinics, and even some restaurants. Though it may seem odd to those who are not used to it, this practice ensures a cleaner, more comfortable environment. Would you adopt this custom in your home, or do you consider it an exaggeration on the part of the Japanese? Leave your thoughts in the comments. In Denmark, cemeteries are not just places of mourning and remembrance, but also serve as urban parks where people stroll, relax, and even have picnics. This custom may seem strange to some cultures, but for Danes, cemeteries are peaceful green spaces that everyone should be able to enjoy. Danes greatly value contact with nature, and cemeteries provide a quiet, tree-filled setting. Since cities are densely populated, cemeteries serve as open areas where people can unwind. Moreover, death is not as heavy a taboo in Denmark as it is in some other cultures, and cemeteries are seen as places of peace and contemplation rather than just sadness. Assistens Kierkegaard in Copenhagen is one of Denmark's best-known cemeteries, where writer Hans Christian Andersen is buried. Many people have picnics, walk, and read books among the graves. Another standout is Vestre Kierkegaard, considered Denmark's largest cemetery, with beautiful gardens and walking trails. Although they are used like parks, Danes maintain respect for the graves and avoid noisy or disrespectful behavior. This tradition shows how different cultures approach death and public spaces. In the Kuzbass region of Siberia, Russia, an alarming phenomenon has been occurring. The snowfall is black. This unusual coloration is a direct result of intense coal mining activity in the area. The coal dust released by the mines and factories mixes with the snow, giving it a dark and threatening appearance. The pollution generated by the coal industry not only changes the color of the snow, but also poses serious health risks to local residents. Experts warn that the soot can contain heavy metals, such as arsenic and mercury, substances that are highly toxic to humans. Besides environmental and health impacts, the constant presence of black snow affects the residents' quality of life, as they live daily with visible pollution in their environment. The average life expectancy in the region is one of the lowest in Russia, around 77 years for women and 66 for men, possibly influenced by adverse environmental conditions. This phenomenon highlights the challenges faced by communities in industrial regions and the urgent need for measures to resolve or mitigate the effects of coal mining pollution. In Armenia, especially in rural areas, it is common for many men to migrate abroad in search of better job opportunities. This migration results in communities made up mostly of women, children, and the elderly. The prolonged absence of men can lead to family breakdown and increase women's vulnerability to various forms of exploitation, including human trafficking. Male labor migration is common in many parts of the world, especially where local economic opportunities are limited. Although this migration can bring financial benefits, such as remittances sent back to families, it also has significant social consequences, since women are left without their partners, need to work in the fields, and perform not only the role of mother, but also that of father for their dependent children. According to experts, to avoid these risks, it is essential for local authorities and international organizations to implement support programs for families affected by labor migration. This includes creating local economic opportunities, raising awareness about the dangers of human trafficking, and providing support networks for the women and children left behind. Japan faces significant demographic challenges, such as an aging population and urban concentration, which have resulted in the depopulation of rural areas. To address these issues and revitalize the interior regions, the Japanese government has implemented the Regional Revitalization Program, offering financial incentives to attract new residents to these areas. One of the most notable initiatives is the Tokyo government's offer of payments to families willing to move from the capital to other parts of the country. This measure aims to ease congestion in the metropolis and promote the development of inland cities. Moreover, the Japanese government offers up to $10,000 in funding for those who wish to settle in rural areas, along with a new category of skilled work visa that can be renewed indefinitely, encouraging people to stay in the country for a longer time. These strategies seek to balance population distribution, strengthen local economies, and preserve the cultural traditions of rural regions in Japan. The Lopburi Monkey Festival is an annual, curious, and unique event that takes place in the city of Lopburi, Thailand. This festival is a true gastronomic party for the thousands of monkeys that live in the area, serving both cultural and touristic purposes. The festival is held every last Sunday of November, in front of the Pra Prang Samyat Temple, a historic 13th century building that is home to countless long-tailed macaques. During the celebration, locals present the primates with huge banquets of fruit, vegetables, sweets, and even soda. The festival started in 1989, devised by a local businessman as a way to attract tourists and celebrate the city's relationship with the monkeys. On the day of the event, large tables with over 4 tons of fruits and vegetables are set up. The monkeys approach and have a real feast, knocking over food, playing around, and even fighting for the best bites. Besides the banquet, there are dance and music performances, and even people dressed as monkeys to entertain visitors. The relationship between monkeys and Thai culture goes back much further. According to legend, the god Hanuman, a Hindu deity depicted as a monkey, helped the hero Rama rescue his wife in the epic Ramayana. The Lopburi monkeys are considered descendants of Hanuman, and treating them well may bring good luck. Although they are a tourist attraction, the monkeys can also be a nuisance for local residents. They are known to be sly and mischievous, often stealing food, glasses, and tourists' belongings. Nevertheless, they remain an essential part of the city's cultural identity. Brahmapura, a village located in the Mahatari district of Nepal, faces a notable shortage of men of working age due to large-scale migration abroad in search of better employment opportunities. It is estimated that about 25% of the village's male population is employed in foreign countries, especially in the Middle East. This large-scale migration has resulted in a community where women have taken on roles traditionally held by men, running businesses and properties, and making important decisions for the village. Although the money sent back by these men has raised local incomes, their prolonged absence has created significant social and emotional challenges for the families who remain. Brahmapura's situation reflects a broader trend in Nepal, where male labor migration has deep social and economic effects, especially in rural communities. It is very similar to what was previously seen in Romania. In South Korea, the color red has deep cultural meaning and must be used carefully in specific contexts. Its use is often avoided in certain situations due to cultural associations. Traditionally, writing a person's name in red ink is considered taboo in South Korea. This is because, historically, the names of the deceased were recorded in red in family documents. Thus, writing someone's living name in that color may be taken as a bad omen or a prediction of death. Despite this connotation, red is present on the South Korean national flag. The central symbol, known as the Taeguk, is divided into red and blue, representing the universe's duality. In this context, the red symbolizes positive, creative forces. Even though the color and its meaning appear on the flag, many people still see red in a negative light and limit its use. Therefore, although red is not completely forbidden in South Korea, its use is culturally sensitive and should be approached carefully, especially when writing names or in situations related to death. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.